So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Alla the Winter from Zurich, Switzerland. Down there is the lake of Zurich. And the places, or some places around the lake, are called the Gold Coast. Why is it called the Gold Coast? Because the extremely rich people live around that lake. People such as Tina Turner, for instance. When you go down there, on the right, you will come to a hotel called the Bord au Lac. The Bord au Lac is a very famous hotel here in Zurich, and it is owned by a Filipino-Swiss family, the Kracht family. Margita Kracht, the daughter of Chichi Kracht, is a Filipina-Swiss. And I think they are the 7th generation. That hotel accommodated people like Alfred Hitchcock or Audrey Hepburn, kings and queens from all over the world. And these days, like celebrities like Renee Zellweger, Richard Gere, Sean Penn. Actually, Sean Penn was there once and asked the hotel owner, Chichi Kracht, if she would smoke a joint with him. That was one of the stories that people would talk about in the city of Zurich. That was years ago. Chichi Kracht is a Filipina, the daughter of a Filipino diplomat who lived in New York, and that's where she met Mr. Kracht, the heir, or the hire, or whatever you call that, of that hotel. But there's something else I want to show you. This place here is quite famous, and I'm going to tell you why, because you must have heard the problems about the Swiss banking sector, Credit Suisse. This here is Zurich Paradeplatz, synonymous for Switzerland's banking and insurance sector. The big banks have their headquarters here. So when the Russian mafia brings their money to Switzerland, or President Marcos brought his money here, that's where they go, to this place here. Let me point this out. This here is Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse basically stopped to exist, and it was like a super big earthquake. And I think news outlets all over the world talked about it. It is a Switzerland's banking giant, and it will be taken over by this bank over here. And you see over there it says UBS, which is the Union Bank of Switzerland. And the merger of this bank and this bank here is going to create what they call a monster bank, a huge banking giant. But people are not very happy about it. And there you see it. Let me just point it out. Over there it says Zurich Paradeplatz. Zurich Paradeplatz, again, is synonymous for Switzerland's banking sector. The power of the banks, the big money, it all happens here in this place. Actually, in the last few days, people started to take picture of Credit Suisse, because this here is basically a Swiss icon. It is just as iconic as, let's say, the Swiss Army knife, Swiss watches such as Rolex or Breitling. They sponsored the Swiss football team, skiing. They are huge in Switzerland. And it's been an earthquake since news broke out that they are going to be taken over by this bank here. I have an account at Union Bank of Switzerland, but I also do have an account at Credit Suisse, and I actually have friends who work for both companies, because these banks here in Switzerland, they have branches all over the country, branches all over the world, and they employ tens of thousands of people. And they also invest a lot of money in the education of people who want to go into finance, banking, and so on and so forth. Because here in Switzerland, banking and finance is basically their bread and butter. Zurich, Paradeplatz. A very, very famous place. And over there you see all the luxury shops and clothing, jewelry, watches, and so on and so forth. Thanks for watching.